Welcome to Trading an Edge, the podcast where we break down the psychology, mindset, and system of elite trading. So whether you're grinding it out, day trading, navigating those swing trades, or carefully building a longer-term view, we're all after the same thing, right? Consistent progress. You're tuned in because you're looking for that edge, that shift. Something to move you from just wanting trading success to actually achieving it consistently. Okay, let's unpack this. Because here's a disruptive truth we need to confront, and it's central to today's deep dive. The reason you keep missing your trading goals probably isn't lack of skill. It's likely because you're aiming at the wrong target altogether. See, the market doesn't reward desire, it rewards disciplined execution.
Exactly. And that's what we're digging into today, redefining your trading goals. We're focusing on this critical difference between setting goals based on the process versus goals based on the outcome.
Right. And our mission here is to pull out the key insights from some really sharp material. We've looked at stuff that merges deep trading psychology with very practical performance tactics.
We want to give you a kind shortcut, really. Help you understand why that traditional goal setting often trips traders up, and, more importantly, how you can shift your focus for, well, much better results.
So let's start with the problem. What's actually wrong with the typical goals most traders set?
It's fascinating, actually.
Yeah.
Because outcome-based thinking is it's so deeply wired into us. We naturally think about the end result we want.
Yeah, absolutely.
So think about your own goals right now.
Yeah.
Do they sound anything like, I really want to pass my first funded account this month?
Or I need to get that first payout by the end of the quarter.
Or even, my goal is to become a profitable trader by the end of this year. Those are classic outcome-based goals. They focus purely on the result.
And they sound good, don't they? They feel ambitious, motivating even.
They do.
But the material we've reviewed is really clear on this. These goals, while they might light a fire initially, they're fundamentally flawed for the day-to-day grind of trading.
You can want that outcome desperately, but desire, as you said, it isn't a strategy. And it's definitely not something you can control in the market.
Okay, so why? Why do they fail so often? Especially in trading where things change so fast.
Well, the clinical insight here is pretty direct. Outcome goals focus on results you simply cannot directly control.
Right, the market does what it does.
Exactly. There's randomness, there's unexpected news, external stuff way outside your influence. You can't dictate where the price goes next. You can't guarantee your perfect A+ setup actually works out this time.
It's like that metaphor you mentioned, chasing the horizon.
Precisely. Outcome goals are like chasing the horizon. You take a step, but it just moves further away because the market owes you nothing, regardless of how much you want it.
And it's not just about being disappointed when you don't hit it.
No, it goes deeper. Our sources really highlight the psychological toll. When you tie your identity, your self-worth, to hitting that outcome, every time you fall short, it feels personal.
Ouch.
That frustration, the self-doubt, that feeling of being completely stuck,
Yeah.
that's your brain reacting to a perceived lack of control. It's a really tough cycle.
That cycle. Yeah, I think every trader knows that feeling. Feeling stuck, feeling like nothing's working. It sounds incredibly draining. So if these outcome goals are the core of the problem, is there a way out? Or is it just trading reality?
Oh, there's definitely a path out, absolutely.
Mm.
And this is where the really powerful shift happens. It's about adopting process-oriented goals.
Process-oriented. Okay.
Yeah. So instead of fixating on that, that final result you can't control, process goals zoom right in on the daily actions, the behaviors, the things you can control.
The actual steps.
The actual steps, the tangible things you need to do day in, day out to move towards that outcome you want, regardless of what the market throws at you that day.
And that's where it gets really interesting, like you said earlier, because in trading, control is everything. If our brains are wired for outcomes, how do process goals help us sort of rewire that?
That's exactly it. They help you rewire. Process goals become your map and compass. Every step you take based on your process is measurable. It's deliberate, keeps you on track.
Okay.
So every time you follow your process, you're taking a positive action. You're moving forward incrementally. That's how you build real discipline. It creates this positive feedback loop in your brain.
So you're finding satisfaction in the doing, not just the result.
Precisely. That's the profound shift. The sources suggest this isn't just about habits. It's literally training your brain's reward system differently. You feel successful because you executed your plan flawlessly, even if the trade was a loss. Not defeated because the market didn't cooperate.
Okay, let's make this concrete. If the outcome goal is, say, pass my funded account, what does a process goal actually look like in practice?
Great question. Let's imagine a trader. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah plans well, but maybe gets anxious when a trade doesn't immediately go her way. She's chasing the outcome, the win. For Sarah, a process goal wouldn't be about the profit target. It might be, I will journal every single trade I take, specifically noting my emotional state at entry and exit.
Very specific.
Or, I will execute my trades exactly as planned in my pre-market prep, without deviating, no matter how the first few minutes look.
Okay, those are really actionable. What other kinds of process goals do the sources point to? What builds that solid foundation?
The notes give several strong examples. Things like, I will identify and write down 5 specific mistakes from my trading journal each week and outline the correction. It's super measurable.
Yeah, it is.
Or, I commit to respecting my predefined risk management rules on every single trade. No exceptions, even if I get a strong gut feeling.
That's a tough one for a lot of traders.
It is, and maybe one of the hardest, emotionally. I will walk away immediately after a trade hits my stop loss. No revenge trading, no trying to make it back right away, even when it feels really uncomfortable.
That takes serious discipline.
It does. But if you connect this to the bigger picture, this shift gives you back a huge sense of agency, control. You stop being a victim of the market's randomness.
Right, you become the driver of your own progress.
Exactly. You shift from just chasing wins to actively building mastery.
That sense of agency, that sounds like the real game changer.
Yeah.
Moving from just wanting an outcome to actively committing to the process needed to get there. And the material we looked at lays out a pretty clear 5-step framework for actually making this shift. It's practical.
Yeah, this framework isn't just theory. It's about consciously changing how you operate, how you define success day to day. It's a fundamental shift in priorities.
Okay, so let's walk through it. How do you start? Step 1 in this framework is acknowledge the outcome goal.
That's the starting point.
Yeah.
Identify that big thing you want, passing the funded account, hitting consistent profit, whatever it is for you. Name it. Be clear about it. Maybe even write it down. Acknowledge why it's important to you. But, and this is the crucial bit, the sources stress. Don't let it become your daily focus. You recognize it, you give it space as that long-term motivator, that why.
Like a destination on the horizon.
Exactly. It's the star you're navigating by.
Mm.
But your immediate focus, day to day, hour to hour, needs to be on the compass in your hand, the steps you're taking right now.
That makes sense. But I can hear some listeners thinking, okay, but the results are what matter eventually, right? They pay the bills. How do you square that practical need with this process-first idea, especially if that outcome feels urgent?
That's a really important question, and it gets to the heart of why this shift can feel challenging initially. The answer really comes down to trust, trusting the process.
Trusting that the process leads to the outcome.
Yes. The material is clear.
Mm-hmm.
Outcomes are what we want, absolutely. But they are byproducts of a solid process. By focusing on the process, you're not giving up on results. You're actually building the most reliable, sustainable path towards them. It's about indirect control, which leads perfectly into step 2, which is define your process. And the notes emphasize this isn't just a casual thought exercise. It demands rigorous self-assessment.
Okay. Define your process. Sounds simple, but I bet that's where people can get stuck. How do you really nail this? What does rigorous self-assessment actually involve here?
Yeah, good point. It's easy to be vague, right? Like saying, I'll be more patient or I'll manage risk better.
Right. Too fuzzy?
Exactly. The sources insist on getting hyper-specific.
Yeah.
Measurable actions. So instead of be a better trader, it's things like, I will wait for the 5-minute candle to close fully before considering an entry signal. Or, I will spend 15 minutes after the market closes reviewing every trade for emotional decision-making and document any triggers.
Okay. Super concrete actions.
That's where mastery starts. You're basically reverse engineering what successful execution looks like for you with your strategy. Think about top performers. In any field, they focus relentlessly on the how.
The daily disciplines.
Precisely. What do they do consistently? They prepare, they execute according to plan, they review meticulously, they adapt based on data. So write down all those repeatable actions that contribute to good trading for you. Be detailed. This becomes your operational blueprint.
Got it. So once you have that detailed blueprint of actions, you move to step 3, set your process goals.
Yes. You take those specific actions you just defined and you turn them into your new primary goals. These become the only things you measure your success against on a daily or weekly basis.
So the focus shifts entirely.
Entirely. It's a very intentional shift in measurement. You're consciously deciding that success today means, did I follow my process? Not, did I make money? You're measuring against your own discipline, your commitment to excellence. that's controllable and deeply satisfying.
Which flows right into step 4. Track your actions, not your results. This is where it really hits home, practically speaking.
Instead of staring at your P&L all day or constantly checking your account balance,
Which we know is counterproductive.
totally. Instead, you rigorously track. Did I journal every trade?
Yeah.
Did I stick to my stop-loss rule? Did I follow my entry checklist to the letter? For our trader, Sarah, it's not about the profit or loss figure at the end of the day. It's about ticking boxes. Yes, I stuck to my review protocol. Yes, I exited precisely when my plans said to, even if it was for a loss.
That sounds like it takes the emotional sting out of losses somewhat.
It absolutely does. It fundamentally shifts the emotional attachment. Your success is defined by your discipline, not the market's random fluctuations reflected in your account balance. That removes so much destructive pressure.
Yeah.
Because when your identity is tied to the outcome, like we said, every loss feels like a personal failure. It feeds negativity. But when you commit fully to the process, the market stops being this judge handing out rewards and punishments.
It becomes, what, a training ground.
Exactly. A training ground, a place to practice your execution. You start replacing that short-lived dopamine hit from a random win with a much deeper, more sustainable satisfaction of knowing you executed flawlessly. That's self-mastery.
Okay, and all this leads to the final step, the culmination. Step 5. Let outcomes become byproducts. This feels like the core truth here.
It really is. Positive outcome loves positive process. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly powerful.
When you consistently do the right things, the things you can control,
Day in, day out.
the outcomes you want, the profits, the consistency, passing that challenge, they start to happen more naturally, almost inevitably, like a byproduct of good work.
You've got it. You're building a machine designed for success rather than just wishing and hoping for it. These process goals build that solid foundation. The discipline, the consistency, the emotional control.
And that foundation is what lets you handle the ups and downs, right?
Right.
The winning streaks and the losing streaks.
Without getting totally thrown off course, you become resilient because your sense of success is internal. It's based on your actions, what you control.
It really does shift the focus completely. It takes away that crippling pressure to force results. You stop trading for results and start trading to execute your process perfectly.
Knowing that the results will follow over time.
You're essentially designing your success day by day, action by action. So what does this all really mean for you listening right now? It means understanding this profound difference. Stop chasing outcomes you can't control. Start committing fully to a process you absolutely can control.
It changes everything.
It transforms trading from that frustrating up and down roller coaster into a path of steady, consistent growth driven by your discipline, your actions. This isn't just about becoming a better trader. It's about building yourself into a more resilient, more effective person in the face of uncertainty.
Which really brings us to a final crucial question for you to reflect on. Think about your trading right now. Are you addicted to chasing results, constantly needing that external validation from the P&L? Or are you genuinely committed to refining your process day after day?
Because the first path, chasing results, that tends to burn traders out. It's exhausting.
It is. But the second path, committing to process, that builds you into a trader who wins by design, not by luck. So the question really is, which path will you choose to take when you log in tomorrow? Trading an edge, where psychology meets profitability?